What's up YouTube? I'm back with a simple method you can use to make currency trading in the early game. Let's hop into how you can do it. This is my Ange inventory after not playing for about 7 to 8 hours, and it's currently day 3 to day 4 of the league. And you may be thinking, that's really not a lot of currency. My favorite streamer already has hundreds of divines. Well, this method is fairly cheap, only needing 1 divine to be successful. And again, it is early league, so this amount of divines will really help me purchase those items that I know are just going to go up in price as the league progresses and juice my overall character. Determining what will sell early league can be quite difficult, especially for new players because experience plays a huge role here, but this is how I did it this league. So I went to PoE Ninja and I saw which classes were being played the most. So we have Martial Artist, Spirit Walker, and Deadeye. Martial Artist is going to be a lot of hollow palm players where they have no weapon, and that's typically what people are upgrading most when it's early league because the weapon gives you the biggest DPS increase. Spirit Walker is spears, and spears are quite difficult to craft, especially with the crafting nerfs this league. And then we have Deadeye. I do know that there is a lot of FUB gooners out there. They love to play the bow, and we're just going to check Deadeye because I know that I can craft some decent quivers or bows for quite cheap. Yeah, it looks like we've got a lot of Ice Shot. And again, I have played Ice Shot this last league with my Ice Shot Amazon, so I know what they need. So we're going to be crafting. Let's hop into the method. The items needed are as follows. Omen of Putrefaction. The Omen of Putrefaction makes it to where when you desecrate, all of the modifiers become desecrated, letting you reveal all 6 modifiers. The next is Preserved Jawbones. These just allow us to desecrate. An Omen of Putrefaction is currently about 10 exalts, and a Jawbone is 1 exalt, so it's not too bad to get these. As for the quiver, you're going to want an item level 75 plus, as it allows us to get all of the T1 flat damages. 81 plus is preferable because it allows us to get tier 1 increased damage with bows, but they can get a little pricey. In this latest patch, you can no longer get +2 projectile skills anymore, so that's not too much of a concern. You can use other items if quivers get too expensive, so try something else and just use your brain a little bit to think about it. Visceral quivers are what you want as they have the implicit critical hit chance for attacks and are best in slot for bows. I picked most of these up for 3 to 5 exalts, and here are some quick clips of me picking those up. Once you have everything you need, activate the Omen of Putrefaction, and then you're going to desecrate your quivers. Additionally, you do not have to have a 6 modifier quiver for it to have 6 unrevealed modifiers. The item just needs to be rare for the Omen of Putrefaction to work. So if this rare only had 1 modifier and then I use the Omen of Putrefaction, it would then have 6 unrevealed modifiers, and this works for all items. So if you do decide to do this on something like rings, it doesn't have to have the max modifiers, it just needs to be rare, and once you do this, the item becomes corrupted. This method is by no means guaranteed and is a gamble, so you're going to want to do a few. However, 1 div allows me to currently get about 6 to 7 gambles. I only need 1 hit to sell for at least a divine to get my money back, and some of these can sell for decent amounts, even going up to 20 divines, so definitely worth doing. The next step is to travel to the Well of Souls. Once you're at the Well of Souls, you're just going to want to reveal the modifiers. I am not using the Omen of Abyssal Echoes for a reroll since they're quite pricey still. We are looking for high flat damages along with increased damage with bows, crit chance, and crit damage. So now I'm just going to go through these and hopefully we get some good ones. Alright, not the best. Take the lightning. Damage with bow skills. Ooh, good crit chance. Take the dex. And then the critical damage bonus for attack damage is good. Okay. Not the best, but, it is what it is. Alright, the next one. That's a good lightning damage. Okay. I think I'm going to take the fizz here. This is such a low roll, I'm just going to take the flat cold. Critical hit chance for attacks, even though it's low rolled, we'll definitely take. That's a T1 attack speed, we'll take that. And then critical damage bonus for attack damage again. Alright, get to the next one. Such a low roll, just going to take the flat cold damage. Projectile speed is also not bad if it's decent rolled. However, I'm just going to take the flats. Lightning damage. Okay. Not bad. Increased damage with bow skills. Pretty decent crit. Oh, really good damage bonus. This one might be worth a decent amount. Can we get +1 proj maybe? Oh, love to see that. All right, let's see what we get. Lightning is always king, so we'll take lightning. It's a good cold. Okay. I'm going to take the proj speed here. Take the dex. Not bad rolled. Attack speed. And then I'll take the surpassing chance. All right, we've got one more. Damage with bow skills. Not bad. It's a very low rolled lightning. I'll just take the fizz. Well, unfortunate. Take the pierce. This one's not too good. All right. Unfortunate. So we've got one really good one, which is great. This one's not too bad. This one's also not the worst. You know, it's not the best, but still pretty decent. This one is very, very good. I hope this one sells. Unfortunately, it's not on a good implicit. It's only 21% increased implicit, but still very, very good. Terrible. Probably terrible. The next is pricing these items. It can be a little difficult pricing these, especially early league when there's not much to go on. So this is where experience definitely plays a role and just knowing what will sell. For example, this has the increased critical hit chance for attacks and damage bonus with 2 flats and damage with bows. So this is a very good quiver. However, it has the 31 dex. Now, a lot of people will say dexterity isn't, really that good. However, since projectile skills on quivers got nerfed, the extra attribute stats can really help a lot of builds, so it's actually not that bad. Of course, the prefixes here suck, but, it is what it is. Since we're early league, it's better to price higher than it is lower if you're not sure. So price it, one night, and then tomorrow come back the next day and lower it a divine or 2. So for this one, I'm going to price it at 5 divines, and then just see, does it sell? If it sells, then okay, great. If it doesn't, then I'll lower it to, 3 to 4 divines. If that doesn't sell, I'll lower it to 2 to 1. Obviously, you have to be actively playing because these are going down in value quickly as the early league gets on and more players are playing and getting to endgame, so things aren't going to sell as easily. While we're heading out here, this is my sales history. We've got 1 for 1 divine. We've got a 10 divine. This is that really good one that we saw in this video. Another 5 divine, 1 divine, a 10 divine. So these do sell quite well, and I do have more posted that are going to sell probably while I'm editing this video. Definitely expect some inflation when this video releases, but Omen of Putrefaction will be a extremely viable method this league, especially early league, so catch on it while you can. Take it easy, Exiles.